What's going on, everybody? This is Daryl Andrews, Coach D, coming to you with an unusual Sunday evening message. But I'm feeling pretty empowered because tomorrow I'm going to be doing a convocation for a school district here in Delaware, and going to be firing up about 1,000 or so educators and administrators. And so as I'm sitting there preparing for all of that, so let me do a LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube live. I haven't done one on a Sunday in a long time. So let me put it out there and see how everybody's doing. It's good to see you all, and so many of you I interact with and have interacted with over the years. I'm repping my son's. He's at the shirt here. He's at Virginia Military Institute, and boy, you talking about some stuff. They're going through a lot of things with their matriculation. And this week was a rough week because it's their initiation week. And so, man, my son is down there. I'm so proud of him, at Virginia Military Institute doing his thing. It's not easy. It's a course, a pathway specifically for those who want to lead, but who have the heart to really push themselves to the next level. So this is not college as usual at VMI, but it produces some of the most amazing leaders. So I'm repping VMI gear today as well. But I didn't want to be on long today, but I was thinking about what I'm going to be sharing tomorrow. And I said, this information is really helpful for all industries. It doesn't matter what you do, what your career is. This information is really helpful. And so tomorrow we're going to be talking a lot about self-care and self-empowerment, in particular, as it relates to, coming out of this COVID crisis. And I believe more than ever right now, again, coming from our home, this is my home, this is our kitchen. My wife had our home renovated. It looks nice, little kitchen here, nice little area set up. So it's nice to be comfortably doing this in my home. Usually in my office doing this kind of stuff. But we really, there's probably a greater need for personal self-empowerment today than ever before. And the reason why I say that is because we live in a time where there's a lot going on in our society. Obviously, we have the ongoing pandemic that we thought would be over by now. And now we got this Delta variant. We got the Lambda coming up after that, And so in order for those of us who work in fields in particular, where we're trying to empower people to do things, and I've said this before and I'll say it again, it is of critical importance. If I'm going to empower other people, I need to be empowered. I need to be full. I need to be energized. I need to be positioned in such a way that, man, as I am out there pouring myself into other people, be it in management, be it in leadership, be it in education, workforce, diversity, equity, inclusion, some of, one of the bigger things that we do here, you have to be empowered. And so what I'm trying to do a lot of these days, the work we do, is to really provide people with the tools to self-empower. And it's really interesting. Like in the workplace, I always tell my customers that, when I come to work in the morning or whenever I go, depending on, the type of work you do, I am most effective when I can walk in that facility empowered. Which means that, yes, I have challenges, and yes, things may be going on in my life. And yes, there may be some situations that can seem daunting, but I've been able to create tools to be able to inspire myself, despite all those challenges, to get into that office or get into that building or that facility and give it my best. When you have a team of people can operate in that mode, that's when you really, really are going to have an effective, what I call dream team. But another thing we share with my customers is this, that doesn't happen on its own. You got to put systems in place in order to get to that point. And so when people say we don't have time to train or we don't have time to, what you're saying is the development of your people is not a priority. And there's nothing worse than just getting on a hamster wheel with no sense of direction. So sometimes we got to pause from our day-to-day grind, slow down and reflect and say, what can we do to make sure people are empowered? What can we do to make sure that we're operating as a team? What are we doing to make sure we can interact within these core values? Because what happens if you don't do these things, what typically happens, you just keep grinding. And what that produces is frustrated people, people that are burnt out, people that are tired, people that don't want to produce, or people don't want to do the extra mile. So organizationally, we need to make it a priority. But this is not just an organization we're talking about. This is individuals. You as an individual need to put systems in place to empower. You have to put systems in place. If your manager doesn't, if your boss doesn't, it don't matter, because you're the one that has to go to work every day and put it all on the line. And so, like, for me, man, I'm telling you, as much as I pour out, thank you, Oscar, I appreciate that, man. As much as I pour out, I have got to pour in. We all got frustrated with the football player Terrell Owens some years ago, because he was a mess when he was going through his thing and he was in the news all the time. But one thing we came to realize with Terrell Owens is that when he made that statement, I love me some me, we start to realize was this: he was arrogant in saying what he was saying, but there was some truth in what he was saying as well. And that is that when we take the time to empower ourselves, what happens is we have the ability now to more effectively empower others. So again, it doesn't matter what industry you're in. It doesn't matter what line of work you do. It's really important to understand that find some ways, find some systems, be it a book, be it a video, be it a speaker that you admire. It doesn't matter who it is, to empower yourself. If it's and the self-care piece comes into play as well, where you can, engage in systems to empower yourself through self-care. Your health, your fitness, and all those type of things are of critical importance. So I just wanted to drop a quick message, because I know we're about to do this session tomorrow. And I was just thinking about it. I said, let me put it out there and see if we can just give you some information to people to help them or help you in your quest, all right, for self-empowerment as you go into the work that you're doing on a day-to-day basis. So that's all I have for you today. This is Daryl Andrews, Coach D. Hope the information was helpful. And remember, you have to be empowered personally before you can go out and empower others. Take care.